Welcome back to the Ruben Rubio TX live stream. I'm 8-Bit Rich, and with this, as always, Ruben Rubio. Hope everyone's
Hello.
doing good out there. Today, we're going to be continuing our topic. And what is that topic, Ruben?
Well, our topic is talking about benefits, talking about financial protection that fits your needs. Now, as we spoke last week, we talked about stability. No, stability you can count on. Now, unfortunately, this week we're going to be talking about disability and accidental insurance. Why am I saying that? Unfortunately, it's something that happens whether we're ready for it or not. Life takes a funny dive. All of a sudden, you may be doing good, but you don't know about anybody else. We talked about this, that hey, we need to have stability. Now, and most people know that, as soon as you leave your house or as soon as you go anywhere, you don't know what the situation could be, how things change. Unfortunately, this weekend here in the city of Harlingen, we had a man with his child. They went out to go do an errand, and lo and behold, these teenagers were drag racing, and they killed him and his son. And it's
Wow.
something that you don't plan for it. And I keep telling people, well, do you plan for an accident? Well, no, Mr. Rubio, I don't want to have an accident. But we can only respond to our actions. When I get in the car, I know that I'm in control of my vehicle, but I don't know
Yeah.
about anybody else. And it's very unfortunate. Even there are laws out there about doing things you're not supposed to do in the cars. There was a law that passed, I think, 2 years ago. You can't be talking on your cell phone while you're driving. You're not supposed to do it in front of the school zone, but yet you still see people talking on the phone. Then they
Yeah.
changed the law a little bit more. They said you can't be drinking or doing texting on your phone while you're driving. Yet people still do it. I've come to a corner where I'm driving. Let's see, sometimes I've had to be in Brownsville or Rio Grande City, and like I'm driving down the expressway, and I turn to my right or to my left to see the driver next to me, and lo and behold, a guy's eating a taco and talking on the cell phone with the other hand, and okay, so they have two hands, but do they have a third hand to hold the steering column, or what? You
I don't
don't
know.
know. Or I
Yeah.
don't know if it's happened to you, with all the respect, ladies, sometimes I've come to a stop light or a stop sign, and here you behold, some are eating a taco, painting their eyelashes, and talking on the phone, all three things at one time, and those are distractions, that are no
Yeah.
longer permitted by the state of Texas, the great state of Texas. But yet people ignore these things, and they forget. They even changed the rules. Now you can't even drink while you're driving. Of course, we're not talking about liquor. We're talking about
Regular
drinking water,
beverages.
coffee, or whatever you're drinking at the moment, because this also is a distraction. It's like when you're trying to change the phone on your car, I mean the
Yeah.
phone or the radio station, or you're trying to pick up something to drink. These things, unfortunately, sometimes produce and promote an accident. So, accident insurance is one of the benefits that I offer to my clients, telling them, look, we don't know what's going to happen. Let's say you're in an accident. You have to go to the emergency room. You have to go to an ER. It's not going to cost you $100 or $200 to be there. In an emergency stay, we're
Please
talking
bear with us.
$900. Uh, and unfortunately, hey, you know what? We need to take an X-ray. Hey, you know what? We need to take you in an ambulance. Or let's say, God forbid, like in the situation that happened to these men, sometimes you need an air ambulance, and they'll fly you to the hospital, and then the doctor determines, you know what? We can't help you because this
Yeah.
was in such a way. We don't have the trauma center, we don't have a burn center, and sometimes they have to fly you out of the valley, fly you up to San Antonio or fly you to Houston. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to cost money. So that's why I'm talking about having financial protection. one of the benefits that we offer is an accident plan for a group rate. As I spoke about this last week, because we talked about the dental program, that a lot of people don't want
Mhm.
to go to Mexico. They rather go see a doctor here, a dentist here. Well, you have to pay a monthly premium. And if you have a group insurance, it's a whole lot cheaper, Richard. It's the same
Yeah.
with an accident policy. Now, I also told you that I offer this benefit because guess what? I also have a accident plan. And you know what? Since I have my accident plan, they gave me, like remember Martin Sheen that comes out on TV? Hey, I've got my card, my savings card. It's a single care in case I gotta buy
Uh-huh.
medication. Well, I've got a card. Oh, and by the way, I also have another card that they gave me because of my wellness. Is that it's a wellness card, and in those wellness cards, I have additional benefits. One of the benefits that I get to buy at discount rate, even movie tickets. I get to buy on this rate, even if I'm going to go to, let's say, Disneyland or Disney World or Six Flags or Water World, whatever water world we got down here or close to us. You get discounts when you have a group rate. And it's so important to have something at your job, Richard, because like I told you, I believe that this man did not know that that was the last time he was going to leave for an errand with his son, and he didn't make it back. He didn't make it back. When you have an accident plan, the accident plan provides for not just going to the emergency, not just going there, but it also adds on if you have to be placed inside the hospital, they have to admit you. We have benefits that will help you. We'll pay for every day that you're there. We'll give you money. So after you get treatment and after you leave the emergency room or after you leave the hospital stay, hey, they're going to give you benefits to go visit follow up doctors because most times they tell you have to go back to see your doctor. Then they even have benefits to pay for treatment in case you have rehabilitation. Some people they need rehabilitation. Unfortunately, it depends how serious your accident was. It needs to be taken care of, and like just sitting there at home doesn't help you. It also provides in case there's a loss of limb or there's loss of of life. Also, unfortunately, it varies. We have several different plans that will fit your economical budget. And I tell people, look, when you buy an accident plan, you pay for yourself. You're paying for yourself because something happens. People have this mystic idea that, oh, I have full coverage. I have insurance. I have health insurance. That's going to pay for everything. No, you have co-pays, you have deductibles that you have to meet, and that's why the supplements that I offer will pay for that directly to you so you can pay them. You can make arrangements at the hospital, at the emergency room, or God forbid, in the event it's something even more serious, that if somebody passes away, it will pay an additional benefit. And it can vary depending on what type of accident you die in. But that is something that is provided for you by your employer. If your employer doesn't have any benefits for you, you need to talk to him to tell him, hey, talk to Ruben Rubio TX, and you know what? I'll go by there. I'll give him a financial outlay that he will see that, hey, this isn't going to cost him an arm and a leg. This is going to be a benefit for his employees to keep them there. That's an incentive to stay at a job. It's like in today's market, people don't want to pay. And to keep
Yeah.
you, they got to have something to keep you. And this is one of the benefits to keep you. Now, do you have any other questions, Richard? Or do you?
Well, just wanted to thank Mauricio Rodriguez and Giovanna for joining us today, and anyone else that is also with us. Today, we're continuing our conversation with Ruben Rubio TX about additional benefits that you can get through your employer. Uh, Today, we're talking about accidents, and now I guess the first question is, like, what kind of accidents are you talking about? Is this like the kind of accidents where something extreme happens, like a death, or could it also be other types of accidents that aren't to
It
that
actually
extreme?
covers many types of accidents, Richard, because unfortunately people think, oh, well, I have to die to get something. No, 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 no. You could be walking, you could slip on the floor, you can, be pushed out, and hit, any type of accident, our company is already designed benefits for you. There are benefits depending where you are. Now, let's say you have the accident at work. Well, this will help you pay for the deductibles. But remember, if you have an accident at work and you're a full-time employee, you have the workman's comp. But this will help you supplement your paycheck to pay for stuff that happens to you at work. There's things that happen at work. And then, of course, there's the other thing that the moment you leave your job or the moment that you're already home, accidents happen. How many people have
Yeah.
you not heard that they slip and fall? My son keeps telling me, Dad, you say I've fallen and I can't get up. Well, wait a couple of more
Yeah.
years and you'll figure that out, because I've
Oh yeah.
accidentally slipped and fell. I'm going to tell you something. One time I accidentally fell in front of the house. I was on my way to church and I forgot something inside. So I go back inside and I pick it up, and as I'm coming out, there's a brick there on the floor, and I trip and I fell down. And I live here. I tripped and fell down, and my neighbor
Uh,
comes and tells me, "Hey, Mr. Rubio, you had an accident." And of course I had to play it cool. I said, "Look, dude, I'm gonna have to tell you something. I tried to do the Superman thing, and I failed. See, I was supposed to take 3 steps, and I was supposed to fly. I forgot. I
jump up, yeah.
just fell down.
I
But can you imagine? I'm all
Yeah.
dressed up. I've got my tie, and I'm ready to go to church. I have to go back inside and change. And of course, it does hurt. It's not like it used to be. I've fallen off of cows and bulls, and I've been thrown off
Oh,
of fences and horses, but I'm not 20 years old anymore. I'm not 15 years old anymore. I'm a little older than that. I cannot mention because
yeah.
of FCC regulations. I can't say how old I am. but
Yeah.
it's something that happens, and it's day in and day out. Like yesterday, I was in McAllen on North 23rd Street. I was on North 23rd Street on Trenton Road. Man, people are flying from one place to the other, and like you just
Yeah.
hear them honk. And you know what? Most people, they get more nervous if you start honking at them instead of just
Yeah.
doing what you were supposed to do and take off. And I've seen a lot of people just slam on the brakes because they don't know what to do. That causes
They
accidents.
freeze it.
They freeze up. It's like shining the lights on the deer. They'll freeze up. Since I do have taken defensive driving classes and offensive classes, when you accidentally flash the lights at a deer, what do you have to do? A lot of people don't know that when that happens, they're not going to move. And if you brake, you're actually going to damage yourself and their car more. And unfortunately, they tell you, you have to speed up. So when you hit that deer, it'll fly up in the air, and hopefully it won't crash into the windshield and kill you. But that's usually, you can't avoid the accident. You're at the point you can't avoid the accident. Just do the best you can where you're at. So, and I tell the people, look, accidents happen. It's better to be ready. It's better to have something to help you out. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I talked about, since I've had my accident policy, hey, I can go to the doctor and do one of the different procedures that it has in the back, saying, hey, you know what? We're going to check for cancer. We're going to check for triglycerides. We're going to check for different things. For going once a year, because I have that benefit, hey, I get a $50 refund. I get
really?
$50 that's being sent back to me. Now, a lot of people said, oh, Mr. Rubio, they did this to me. They did this and this and this and this. No, it says only one. You mean I had them do all those things without it? They're not going to give me any money? No, they're going to give it to you. If you do several, they're just going to give you one. The only other way you can do that is you have multiple policies. And that's where I'm talking about next. In the event something happens, we also have a benefit called the disability program. And in this disability insurance, it runs in 2 different settings. You can have long-term disability or you can have short-term disability. A lot of people take advantage of the short-term disability because, well, you have an accident or something happens at work, you have an additional amount of money that's coming to you at the rate at 70%. Most of the time, it's 70% of the rate of what you're getting your weekly paycheck, and that helps a lot. Now,
Yeah.
some people have the accident at work, so they only pay you 30%. And how much is workman's comp going to pay? So it's like you haven't lost anything. You're still getting your paycheck. You're still paying the light, telephone, gas, because Richard, whether I
Yeah.
have an accident or not, the bills keep coming. And for some reason, I don't know, Rick, I kind of have a tendency of wanting to eat 3 times a day. I
Really.
don't, do you have that problem?
I try not to think about it too much.
Yeah, we try to eat 3 times a day. That's what's required. I know a couple of friends that eat more than 3 times a day. Believe me, man. And I can't mention their names because I mean, poor Jim will be mad if I mention his name. But there's people that for some reason they still like to dress well. They like to go to a restaurant. They like to go to the movies. Since the movies are back, we can go to the movies
Yeah.
again. That there's that theater there in McAllen on Trenton. You can go and sit down and watch a movie and eat your dinner at the same time. Which is very, very good. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's two types. There's the long-term disability, and then there's the short-term disability. Most people that I offer the short-term disability is women that are at a workplace and they say, Mr. Rubio, I'm planning to have a baby. Okay, this insurance will take effect after 10 months in process. So why? Because it takes 9 months to have a baby. They're not going to insure you. You buy it today, and then like on a week later, oh, I'm pregnant. It's not going to cover you. It's going to cover you after the 10th month. Now, if you get pregnant 3 months later, and of course you've already passed the 10-month period, they're going to cover. Oh, Mr. Ruby, I need the disability, but I'm having the baby in a week. No, it's not going to cover. Okay, it's not going to cover. It'll cover
Yeah.
you after the fact. Now, there are instances, unfortunately, that people have accidents or people get sick. All of a sudden are sick. I've got clients that they've seen me, we've talked, and they get insurance, and lo and behold, a month or 2 months later, they go to their doctor and, oh, you know what? I'm sorry, you have cancer. Oh, I'm sorry, you have this. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't work because of this reason. That short-term disability automatically kicks in. And a lot of these people are very grateful because they're getting a paycheck. Like most Americans, we live by how, Richard? Paycheck to paycheck. Paycheck to paycheck. Entonces, the short-term disability is good for up to 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months, depending on which of the three or the different levels of insurance you're willing to get. Now, let me change it a little bit. Now I'm going to talk about the long-term disability. Long-term disability is something seriously happened to you. And it's not necessarily sometimes an accident, but you got sick, cancer, or whatever. You need that additional benefits because most people will not be back to work in 6 months or 3 months or 9 months or a year. Some people, it takes a little longer. So this is a way that you compensate yourself and you help yourself. Remember, every benefit that I'm mentioning is tax deferred. What does that mean? That means that I pay for this insurance first out of my paycheck, and then it reduces my yearly intake because they paid for it first. And that means that I'm going to get more money at the end of the year. Look at it at the positive way. It's compensating yourself. It's paying for your benefits. Most people pay a lot on their insurances. They pay a lot on their taxes. This will help them alleviate that kind of burden,
Interesting. Just want to welcome everyone to the stream. You're watching Ruben Rubio TX live, whether it's on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. You can find us there. We are here weekly on Tuesdays around 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. You could also ask us questions on our website at RubenRubioTX.com. If you have any questions pertaining to any kind of the different life insurance policies, today we're talking about uh, additional benefits, including accidental and disability. And if you'd like to set up an appointment with Ruben Rubio, you can also visit the website. Let us know when's the best time to reach you and your information, and the information will be sent directly to RubenRubioTX, and I'd be glad to help you.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me just add
so
something else, Richard.
yes,
Most people that have insurance with me, I tell them, hey, if you have an accident, or you're going to apply for the disability, or you're going to apply for the which we already talked about, the dental, I have the forms. I can give you the
uh-huh,
forms to fill them out to do the claim, and this
yeah,
this will help a lot. I also talked to you about how we put ourselves as the primaries, but we also have secondary people that will help you, like your spouse, your wife, your husband, one of your kids. In the event that you can't take care of the claim, well, there's somebody else that needs to take care of it. And how do you do that? Well, you call Mr. Rubio, and we have somebody else assigned as a additional person that's involved in your policy to help you out. Everybody needs an extra beneficiary, because like I mentioned earlier, unfortunately, what if they die, or what if it's a major accident and they cannot respond? Well, you need a second beneficiary to help you do the paperwork. And of course, as your agent, I give it the personal touch that I go out there. I give you the help that you need to fill out the paperwork, and then we submit it to the company, and the company takes pretty good care of its clients.
yeah,
I've not had a problem in the past. Sometimes the problems that we run to are a little, a little minor, like, well, I'm no longer Rodriguez. I'm Paris now. I got married. Oh well, you should have told me so I could have made the proper adjustments. And those little things. Oh, by the way, I had an extra child. I have another child, not an extra, another child. I'm sorry.
yeah,
This one just had appeared of nowhere. No, no, those things don't happen. And if they do, please call me. Then you and I can need to seriously have a talk. But like I'm telling you, we are here to provide a financial protection for your family, for yourself, to help yourself. I got a call from a client, Mr. Rubio. They said, I need to change my health insurance because I've been feeling a little bit bad. Well, you've already had the policy in effect for some time. Let's go ahead and upgrade you to a better policy. So when the event happens, you are better prepared. You don't have you don't have a HMO anymore. You have a PPO. You have a different types of doctors. You have a more broader span of specialists and care for you because you decided to upgrade. And of course, I provide all the manuals and everything. I personally don't sell the major medical, but my provider, my company, is the one that sells it. Okay. And I just introduce you and they take care of you. And I take care of
okay,
you when you need my help. I'm there to help you out. You know, it's not like that agent, that used to work, that used to go collect at the houses that, oh gosh, that guy came for 20 years and all of a sudden, oh, he died. And now they have some other guy and he doesn't know what he's doing. I've been around, it's 30 years, Richard, 30 years.
yeah. Wow.
30 years in the business. God help us all.
Yes, sir. I guess another question. Since it's going through a company, is like our current health. Is there any consideration on that to get approved for it, or
Okay.
how?
On certain policies, like let's say for instance, we're going to later be talking about the life insurance and of course cancer insurance and critical illness. I'm hoping that's what we're going to talk about next time. But there's people that already have existing priors, like they've had a heart attack or they've had cancer or something like that. If you're in remission, I cannot offer you a cancer policy. If you already had it, I can't offer it to you. But on the group insurance, there is a guarantee that they will give you so much insurance. Then you can purchase on your own additional coverage. And this is very helpful, Richard, because I personally sell life insurance on the side. And guess what? Hey, you know what? I can't offer you no more because of your cancer or because of your pre-existing problem. But when you have a group insurance, there's a limit that you can sell up to, and then you've got it. I recently had a problem with one of our clients that, hey, guess what, Mr. Rubio? Thank God you sold me this cancer problem policy, and guess what? I had cancer. They immediately gave me the $10,000 benefit. I went and I did all the procedures, and on all that extra money, help for deductibles, co-pays, and everything that it needed to fix, and I no longer have to pay for the insurance because, hey, you told me that once you get cancer, this policy will become paid up and it will keep paying you throughout the years. Well, lo and behold, he says, "What I need more life insurance." He said, "Guess what? I can sell you another 25 or $30,000 without no problem because you are already inside of our system." He went ahead and purchased that insurance. He fell right under the guideline, which meant, hey, nobody else is going to sell me $30,000. And guess what? He lives up there, up north. And it's more expensive dying up north than down here in the valley. I mean, I've explained to people, hey, here in the valley, you're looking anywhere from 12,500 to 15,000 in case you die, and you want a traditional Hispanic or a traditional funeral, and then you want to go be buried. Some of these cemeteries, it's more expensive to go to the cemetery than go to the funeral home. Like I have most of them like a basic funeral with the most bare essentials at a funeral with the flowers. Oh, by the way, Richard, the flowers went up. They seriously went up. I mean, I remember used to buy a bouquet of carnations, the one they put on top, that was $150. If you got the one that was the mix between the carnations and the roses, that was 450. That went out the window. The big, nice, roses, the red roses or the white roses, you're looking at a $900 bouquet. Man. And the other one goes down to about 600, and it's mixed. And the other one goes up about 450. What used to cost 150? Everything's going up. Inflation is going up, and the cost of all these things are going up. So that's why it's important to have some type of life insurance coverage. Like I mentioned, when you have benefits, financial protection. If you have a job, you don't have benefits, talk to your employer. Hey, you want me to stay here? I want to stay here, but you need to get something for me. You're not going to pay. The employer doesn't pay. It's the employee that buys their own benefits. And they have so many perks if they do. And of course, going down a little bit, we'll talk about next time the life insurance. And of course, I'm going to talk about that more broadly, the critical illness, and of course, the hospitalization confinement. And I think that's one of the things that is very important because people think, oh, pues I can go in and go out and that's it. No, it's not like it used to be. It's not like it used to be. You remember that all these health companies popped up and disappeared, and then you had Obamacare and you had this and that. I'm not going to strike down any of those companies, but some of those companies, most doctors will not receive them. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, if you have a supplement, this will help you out. This will help you out. It'll help the burden.
Yeah. Well, that was a good talk. Very informational. Just want to once again thank everyone for watching us today. We're covering the topics of accidental and short-term and long-term disability here with RubenRubioTX. If you have any questions, you can always leave them. Visit our website, RubenRubioTX.com, and you can answer your questions on a later stream. Also, if you'd like to set up an appointment personally or have an appointment set up with your employer to get these benefits for you and the rest of your coworkers, you can leave your information down the bottom of RubenRubioTX.com to set up that appointment, and Ruben will reach out back to you. And you can also find us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram at RubenRubioTX, where we'll be posting information regarding the different topics. Is there anything else you'd like to leave us with before we close out?
The only thing I would like just to say is thank you to everybody. And hey, you know what? If you're on the link and you have questions, we've done several shows. So you can go back to any one of those shows if you have a particular question or you wanted me to remind you or repeat what you might have missed. You can just go back and look through those and, hey, I want to know about prearranged funerals. Hey, I want to know about, term insurance. Hey, I want to know about retirement. All these different subjects are on this channel on the Ruben Rubio 2X, and we continue to talk about things because this is not a little subject. It's a humongous subject, and I can't cover that much. I've only got what we've only been on the air for 30 minutes, and I've
Yeah.
basically just touched the tip of the iceberg, because there's so much that people ask. Well, what if I had a laceration? Or what if I had a stroke? Or what if I had this? Hey, that's why we have these segments, because people want to know. And as I've spoken to our friend Richard and our friend Ralph and other people, there's not too many people that will discuss these themes, because many of them don't know how to talk, or don't know what they're talking about, or don't have experience. Some people say, well, how do you do that mortgage thing? Well, I can do it. How do you do that beneficiary for minors? Well, this is how I do it. And I do these for my clients because I care for my clients. I do what the Bible says. I study to show myself approved. I study to help out my clients to the best of my ability, because guess what? Someday you're going to need me, and someday you want somebody that knows what they're talking about. Okay?
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you all next week, Tuesday at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. I'm 8-Bit Rich, and that's RubenRubioTX right there. And we hope you have a great week. Follow us on social media and visit our website at RubenRubioTX.com for all your questions and to set up an appointment.
Yeah,
Have a
and
great
hit
week.
that like button. Hit that like
Yes.
button so that way we can continue. Okay? Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.